AITA for telling my dad that I don't care that his stepdaughter died. I'm 28. My mama died not long after I was born. Dad married Tina, not her real name, when I was 7. She had a daughter also 7 from a previous relationship, Diana. Me and Diana did not get along. Diana was spoiled into adult me. It was obvious she resented not being the only child anymore. She took it out on me. She would break my toys and steal my stuff and lie to get me in trouble. I would complain to Dad and Tina, but they told me to get over it. If I did the same, I would get punished. It only got worse as we got older. I felt abandoned by my dad. I often felt lonely in my house. So I guess you guys can see who the golden child was. At 16, Diana spread a nasty rumor about me in school and I almost got expelled. Diana got caught lying and got suspended. Of course Dad and Tina blamed me for this. That was the last straw for me. I rang my cousin, Shyla from my mama's side, and told her what's been happening. She came over to my house angry at Tina and Dad. She gave them a piece of her mind. Dad said if it bothered her so much, then she was welcome to have me. That was a blow to my heart to hear my own dad say that to me. So me and Shyla went to pack my stuff. Diana's room was open and she was sitting on her bed smirking at me. We got my stuff and we left. I haven't looked back since. Over the years Dad or even Diana tried to contact me, but I would block all attempts. Now a week ago, Shyla visited me. She told me that she got a message from Dad. For me, I was surprised she even mentioned Dad since she knew how I felt about him. She told me that Diana was in fatal accident and didn't make it. She said he was wanting to talk to me. Shyla handed me his number and said it's up to me. I did ring him out of curiosity. More than anything, he didn't even recognize my voice. But when I told him it was me, he broke down crying, and most of the time I couldn't make sense of what he was saying. When he calmed down, he said my sister died and it's time to come back home and make things right with each other. I asked what sister? I have no sister. He started crying and saying don't do this. She doesn't deserve this. This has enraged me and I just let out all my anger, hurt and frustration I had felt towards them, and ended with I don't care if she had died. My girlfriend who was beside me took my phone off me and ended the call for me. Glad she did. Before I had said any more, she told me later that I could have been more understanding. I've had time to think over and wonder if she is right. In AITA. NTA. Your father enabled you to be abused in your own home, and then tossed you out when he was called out. Now his golden child is dead. He's suddenly remembered he has a consolation child. Hard no. He created this. He put everything in place for this and he's not sorry. He's just sad his favorite child is dead. He's lost 2 children, and he's the reason he lost one. He failed as father. He doesn't get to waltz back and pretend nothing happened just because he's feeling sad. You're not a consolation, and you don't have to listen to your abuser feel sorry for themselves so they can continue their fantasy and not be held accountable. I think your reaction is entirely understandable. The wounds you were dealt may be scabbed over rather than healed, and you might benefit from working with a therapist to heal the ones you can. NTA. NTA. You probably need to tell your GF the full story of your childhood, so she understands why you said what you said. But yes, your GF was right to end the call before you said anything else. NTA. What did your dad expect? Awfully cheeky of them to try and invite you back now after all that and years OD neglect. NTA. Your father is acting like now that the golden child is dead, they have a vacancy and all will be forgotten if you just pretend nothing ever happened and come home. He treated you and treats you like the spare daughter. Disposable when they had Diana. Irreplaceable now that she's dead. They didn't want a relationship with you when you wanted. Why should they get a relationship with you now that they want one and now that you don't? Two-way street. NTA. NTA, you don't get a do-over with the child you threw away. Heartbreak. NTA, he doesn't get to throw you away at Fing's 16, and then come back expecting your empathy when his golden child passed. NTA, was it an insensitive thing to say? Yes, but given your circumstances, totally understandable. NTA, your dad chose who his child really was. He doesn't get a secondary backup now that his favorite died. Just ignore and block them all and go about your life. NTA, I feel sorry for him, but he made his choice. What does he expected when he let you go at 16 and put all the responsibility on your cousin? Even as he tried to reach out over the years. It's not his call to tell you this. He said, my sister died and it's time to come back home and make things right with each other. You maybe went overboard, but have all the justificable reasons to do it. He chose this from when you were 16. He chose to let you go. The sad part is that he not only lose a daughter, he lost both of his kids. He started crying and saying, don't do this. She doesn't deserve this. You didn't deserve to be rejected, even more so at 16. He doesn't get to decide for you. NTA, she told me later that I could have been more understanding. This is a case of be the bigger person and apologies, like for what? For a child being abandoned by his family? Hell no. Your dad made his choice and only now after so many years does he regret it. He needs to live with his choices. NTA, you can't be blamed for how you feel at all. Please tell your girlfriend if you feel able to what happens, as she fully understands. Please also consider therapy so you can work through this and hopefully find peace and healing. The turning point in these relationships was when Diana set you up at school to get expelled and was caught. Your dad made a choice to back up Diana over his own son. Actions have consequences, and when he made that choice, it was an action. NTA. NTA. He deserved every single thing you said. Nothing you said could be worse than he deserved. Know you did zero wrong and don't waste a single second thinking about it or him, and enjoy your life without regret. NTA. Hate to say it, but your girlfriend needs to stay in her lane. If she has a functional family, she has no idea what goes on in dysfunctional ones and how it affects people. Her opinion is important because she's your girlfriend, but it is completely uninformed. What's there to understand? He was a subpar father, who brought in a subpar stepmother and her spoiled kid, who then made your life a misery. He lost you because of that. The loss of Diana doesn't mean he's suddenly entitled to your presence. Those privileges were removed when he behaved as he did. This is the path he chose. Outside of that, he didn't even recognize your voice. You two have been apart long enough that you're now effectively strangers. That's also a path he chose. And unfortunately enough for him, it's not a path he can walk back. His choices came with consequences. NTA. Your dad told you multiple times through his actions that he doesn't care about you. Him wanting to talk to you now looks like him looking for the leftovers. It's awful. Yes, your girlfriend was right, but you are NTA. Just angry. Counseling. A professional, not your girlfriend.
NTA.
NTA. Your sperm donor and his witch or ta.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.